Mary Kay Ash built a business empire in the 1960s when many women were just beginning to explore possibilities beyond being wives and mothers. The company offered women familiar with the workplace a chance to be as successful as they wished. Join us on this fascinating success story and learn about the revolution created by a determined young dreamer who refused to live a mediocre life. Trust me, this success story will not only inspire women. Hard work from a young age. It is certain that Mary Kay Wagner was born on May 12th, the daughter of Edward Alexander and Lula Vember Wagner in Hot Wells, Texas. But when Mary Kay gained fame, she kept her birth year a closely guarded secret. She followed the popular saying of the time that a lady never reveals her age. Various sources speculate that her birth year was either 1916 or 1918. As a young child, Ash worked hard. While her mother spent 14 hours a day running a restaurant, Ash, at the age of 6, was left to go to school, clean the house, prepare dinner, and care for her sick father. Her father had contracted tuberculosis and was disabled. Ash's mother offered constant encouragement to her daughter. Even though some days Ash's only contact with her mother was over the phone, she clung to her mother's words. "You can do it," her mother would say daily. Ash believed her and found out she was right. "Her words became the theme of my childhood," Ash recalled in an interview. Ash found her mother so inspiring that she made her mother's phrase the motto of Mary Kay Cosmetics. Although Ash had enrolled in some classes at the University of Houston in 1942, she dropped out after a year to continue selling full-time. To learn more about sales, Ash attended a Stanley Home Products sales convention. There she saw the top sales representative crowned as the sales queen and awarded a crocodile handbag. Ash determined that she would win the award the following year. She began writing weekly goals for herself on soap on the bathroom mirror and scheduling 3 or more home demonstrations per day. She was honored as the top seller for Stanley Home Products the following year, but was disappointed to find that her prize was a fisherman's underwater flashlight. Nevertheless, Ash continued to sell well for Stanley Home Products and became a manager. In 1952, Ash landed a job at the World Gift Company, a supplier of home decorations. She was soon promoted to manager of the company's operations in Houston and later to national training director. Ash married her second husband in 1960, but she continued to work. Throughout her career, Ash disliked earning less than her male colleagues and having her ideas rejected because of her gender. In 1963, she grew tired of gender-based unfair practices. That year she was transferred to a less important position, and a man she had trained was promoted above her with twice her salary. Frustrated, she left World Gift supposedly to retire. Started her own business. For Ash, retirement did not mean rest and relaxation. With 25 years of sales and management experience, Ash decided to write a book to help women navigate the business world. As she outlined ideas for the book, she realized she had a plan for a different kind of business. Being a deeply religious person, Ash drew from the golden rule of Matthew chapter 7, verse 12 of the Bible, which says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." The more she wrote, the more she realized she could actually start a business like that. She just needed a product to sell, preferably something that could be used and reordered. Ash excelled in school, earning straight A's and winning competitions in debate, oratory, and typing. She graduated from high school a year early, with hopes of becoming a doctor. However, her family couldn't afford college tuition. Unable to continue her studies, Ash got married. With her first husband, J. Ben Rogers, she ended up having 3 children. Not content to be a homemaker. As a young wife and mother, Ash was not content to stay at home. She began working part-time in sales, first selling books door-to-door in the late 1930s. In 1939, she became a sales representative for Stanley Home Products. The company was a direct sales business that offered brooms, toothbrushes, and various household products. Her choice was unusual at a time when American culture highly valued stay-at-home wives supporting their husbands even before children were born. Ash's husband soon joined the military when the United States became involved in World War II in 1939. When Rogers returned from wartime service in 1943, the couple divorced. Ash was left to raise her 3 children on her own at a time when divorce and single motherhood were quite rare. Years earlier, when Ash worked for Stanley Home Products, she had met Heath Spoonmore, the daughter of a leather tanner. Noticing that her father's hands were very smooth and soft, Spoonmore experimented with leather tanning solutions to create a facial cream. Impressed with the cream, Ash had been using it for years and bought the recipe. The cream became the foundation of her new company. She invested $5,000 of her savings in setting up a shop in Dallas and a small factory. A month before Ash launched her new company called Beauty by Mary Kay, her husband suddenly died of a heart attack. Both her lawyer and accountant advised her to cancel her business plans. She ignored them and enlisted the help of her 20-year-old son, Richard Rogers. The two opened Beauty by Mary Kay on September 13, 1963, with 9 of Ash's friends employed as beauty consultants. Ash's plan outlined a truly new type of company. It wasn't the first company to sell goods door to door. In fact, Ash spent much of her career selling products in people's homes. Nor was it the first beauty products company. Elizabeth Arden, Helena Rubinstein, and Madam C.J. Walker preceded it with similar products. But it was the first to offer women unlimited opportunities for advancement. Ash hired beauty consultants, not salespeople, to offer classes in customers' homes. These classes would be held for small groups of 5 or 6 people. This was different from the large home parties of 25 or more people where Ash sold Stanley Home Products. Ash reasoned that women would feel more comfortable learning about skincare at home with a small, intimate group of friends. Each consultant's goal was to instruct customers on how to properly cleanse their skin and apply makeup to enhance their appearance. By the end of the first year, Beauty by Mary Kay recorded $198,000 in wholesale revenue. The enthusiasm of the 9 beauty consultants for the business convinced others to join. All a person needed to become a beauty consultant was $100 for a refundable starter kit and a motivation for success. Beauty consultants were their own bosses, setting their own goals and schedules. The following year, the company's wholesale numbers reached $800,000, the number of beauty consultants jumped to 3,000, and the company was renamed Mary Kay Cosmetics. Cinderella gifts as incentives for success. Ash genuinely wanted her employees to succeed. Unlike other companies, Mary Kay Cosmetics did not establish sales territories. Most beauty consultants worked part-time, averaging about 9 hours a week, so many beauty consultants could work in the same area. Without sales territories, Mary Kay beauty consultants could continue to sell their products even if they moved or went on vacation. To motivate her sales force, Ash didn't set limits on what they could earn. Consultants purchased Mary Kay Cosmetics at wholesale prices and set their own retail prices. Some sold products at double the wholesale rate. Ash strongly felt that her top sellers should be publicly recognized. She rewarded beauty consultants with extravagant conventions, during which she gave out prizes she called Cinderella gifts. Ash made sure that the prizes she gave were worth the effort, unlike the underwater flashlight Stanley Home Products had offered her years before. Beauty consultants earned fur coats, diamond jewelry, tropical vacations, and pink Cadillacs. Over the years, the 2 most recognized awards Mary Kay offered were diamond B-shaped brooches and pink Cadillacs. For Ash, the bee symbolized the ultimate in success. "The bee's wings are too weak and its body too heavy to fly," she explained in her autobiography. "Everything seems to say to the bee, you'll never get off the ground. But I like to think that maybe, just maybe, our divine creator whispered, you can do it." To inspire employees, Ash promoted this positive thinking and provided personal encouragement to all employees, and to the top performers, she awarded B pins. Ash's idea for distinctive pink Cadillacs came from a completely different source. Driving her black car, Ash used to get cut off in traffic. Frustrated one day, she drove to her Cadillac dealership and requested a pink Cadillac. She wanted the same light pink color as her company's pink lipsticks and eyeshadows. When she drove the distinctively colored car, she was no longer cut off in traffic. Her sales team asked how to get one. Ash decided to offer the cars as prizes to the top sellers. In 1969, the first Mary Kay pink Cadillacs were awarded at the company's annual convention. Built an empire while embracing her femininity. Mary Kay Cosmetics made Ash and many of her beauty consultants wealthy and powerful businesswomen at a time when the feminist movement was gaining momentum in the mid-1960s. Ash shared the feminist vision that men and women should be treated equally in the workplace. However, she disagreed with how the feminist movement was trying to achieve this equality. When I was starting the company, I didn't like the way the feminist movement was taking women cutting their hair short and wearing men's clothes, trying to be men. I think that's ridiculous. I think women should look feminine and should try to look pretty, Ash noted in an interview cited by the American Enterprise. Ash was dedicated to building women's confidence and business power while simultaneously celebrating feminine beauty. Ash herself dyed her blonde hair to frame her face. She used a variety of makeup products to highlight her facial features. She wore well-tailored suits with large jewelry and jewelry necklaces to work and long flowing dresses at gala events. At Mary Kay's annual conventions, beauty consultants wore suits of different colors to indicate their status in the company. Pink suits, of course, were reserved only for the top sellers. In 1966, Ash married her third husband, Melville Jerome Ash. She adopted her husband's last name, but she had already become nationally known as Mary Kay. The success of Mary Kay Cosmetics continued. In 1968, the company went public, offering stock on the New York Stock Exchange. Stock prices skyrocketed 670% between the 1970s and 1980s, making Mary Kay the largest direct-selling cosmetics company in the United States. In 1979, the first Mary Kay beauty consultant exceeded $1 million in commissions. Interest in her company and unique management style grew after her autobiography. Makeup and the feminist movement. Before the 1960s, fashion standards for women were quite different from men's. During World War II from 1939 to 1945, women struggled to maintain a feminine appearance with limited supplies. Rationing during the war limited the amount of fabric available for making dresses. Silk stockings were scarce because the fabric was needed for parachutes. After the war, French designer Christian Dior introduced the new look in 1947, which established a highly feminine beauty standard. Women eagerly cinched their waists with corsets to give themselves an hourglass figure. The small-waisted corsets contrasted dramatically with the new look's billowing skirts. With their billowing skirts and tailored tops, women wore rigid hairstyles, heavy makeup, stockings, and high heels. Mary Kay Ash herself embraced this feminine standard and was enchanted by the decorative aspects of such styles. She never considered wearing makeup, styling her hair, or wearing high heels as obstacles to being a powerful and confident woman. In fact, she was enchanted by all things decorative. In the 1960s, the modern feminist movement organized to push for equal rights for women. As the movement gained strength, women began to question contemporary standards of femininity. Some feminist activists argued that the feminine ideal of beauty established in the previous decade harmed women, preventing them from being treated as equals to men. They argued that factors like makeup, shaved legs, plucked eyebrows, styled hair, high heels, and stockings signaled women's lower status in society, making women objects of desire for men. These feminists eschewed standard beauty conventions in favor of clean faces, shorter or loose hairstyles, and more masculine clothing like pants and simple shirts. Opposing views on the correct look for women still continue. However, the debate opened the doors for women to decide on the look that suited them. By the late 1960s, standards of feminine beauty had become much more diverse and based on individual preference. It was equally acceptable for women to wear heavy makeup, ruffled clothing, and styled hair as it was to wear no makeup, jeans, and a t-shirt. Furthermore, designers introduced unisex styles that could be worn by both men and women, a trend that continued into the early 2000s. As more and more job opportunities opened up for women during the 1970s and 1980s, Mary Kay's sales stabilized. To reorient the company for growth, Ash and her family repurchased the company for $450 million in 1985. The family successfully transformed the company into an international empire. Ash was succeeded by her son in 1987 but remained active in the company until her death on November 22, 2001. In 2003, Mary Kay Cosmetics had over 1 million consultants selling more than 200 different products in 30 countries around the world. The company achieved wholesale values of $1.8 billion. Over 200 beauty